Hi, and welcome back to the channel. I'm going to try and do something a little different this time. I'm going to try to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a sketch as inspiration. So earlier this week, my wife and I, we had a meeting with our financial advisor, talking about all things retirement and savings and all that kind of good stuff. And so, of course, somewhere in that conversation, the topic of my YouTube channel came up, of course. You want to talk it up. You want to make sure everybody kind of in your orbit knows about it so they can kind of support your channel. And so when we got down to the meat of what I was doing on my channel, he mentioned that his son loved Star Wars, and Mandalorian was like his favorite show. So he went into his office and he came out with some sketches that his 7-year-old son had done of the Mandalorian and Boba Fett, and they were incredible. So I thought to myself, well, maybe I should take this opportunity to try to keep that spark or the fire of art and sketching going in his son. So I went out and got this sketchbook, and so I figured on the first page, why don't I just do a nice little sketch of the Mandalorian and add a little note to it. And I have to go back over there. My wife and I, we have another appointment this week, a follow-up appointment to kind of finalize a few things we're working on. So I'll present him with the sketchbook for his son, and hopefully his son will continue on I can't say the word, an artistic path. I'll say it like that. So like in all of my sketches, I try to keep everything, or in my videos, I try to keep everything simple, finding simple shapes like squares, rectangles, basic geometric shapes, like an oval type shape, elongated oval for his shoulder armor here. So I'll lightly sketch that in because you want to keep everything kind of basic at the beginning, finding basic shapes and relationships and angles so that you can come back in and then start fine-tuning those things later on down the road. So hopefully this will keep him fired up because I received an email from him the day after we went in for our appointment, and he said that his son and him sat down that evening and watched one of my videos, and his son was really into it. He was trying some of the techniques, so that made me feel really good that he was really into it and he was learning something from it, even so much to the point where his dad said the next day his son got up early and he went in there and he's like, "What are you doing?" And he was using the pencil to kind of measure out shapes and find angles and everything. So, that makes you feel good that, what you're doing is really making an impact. So here I've kind of blocked in everything like I usually do. And the next phase will be kind of cleaning up some of these guidelines and then finding and adding some details into the areas that I've kind of already identified of where the details are going. So jumping back in here, I'll adjust his armor on his shoulder a little bit to capture the correct angle. So I'll erase this out since everything is kind of light. I'm using light marks. It makes it easier to erase and give that more of an angle like so. Try and capture just what the shape is doing, like so. His belt, the strap on his pouch, the angle is a little off here as well. So I'll use my pencil to kind of find the angle, move it over, saying it should be more like this, like so. So I'll kind of lightly just draw that in. Come down like here, across his chest, like so. And then I'll start thinking about, in this box that I have for his chest piece, I'll start thinking about capturing this little shape as more of a trapezoidal shape, like so. Then I'll bring it up, and then right here, underneath the strap. And then I'll start defining this little pointy shape here, which I kind of already have here, but it looks like it comes over a little further and then comes out and then back up to the chest plate like so. And then this comes up like here, like so. It really goes like that to connect to that piece, but I'll erase this out so you don't see it. Because it's okay to draw through your lines to make sure that they're connecting the right way, because you can always erase them out and clean them up. Like so, and then he has this little piece right here, this V shape, and we'll connect that like so. And then the lines for his cape that's behind the chest piece, so we can kind of start lightly drawing those lines up like so. And then the pattern kind of starts here and goes up and over his shoulder. And then this piece tucks under this piece like so. Like so, like this. And then his strap kind of tucks under the cape and creates like a little pie shape here that we want to capture. And then we can come in and erase a little bit of that like so. And then I'll clean up a little bit of these guidelines on the inside of his helmet so we can start defining some of this detail as well. Like so. Erase it out. Add some of these lines on his shoulder armor. You know, just real easy. Once you have the basic shape in, you can kind of just carve these details in, and the process moves along so fast because you've already figured out the shape and where everything needs to go. So all you're doing is now just detailing. Detailing. If you think you got those where you want them to be, like so, erase it out. And more of his cape kind of thing, clothing from under the chest plate, like so. And then we'll move on to the helmet. So taking a look at this helmet, there's a lot of little complex looking shapes in here, but like I said, if you break it down, it's all simplified. Like if you look at the negative space here, that's a trapezoid. So we'll kind of draw like a little trapezoid there. And then stacked on top of the trapezoid is like a long rectangular piece. So we'll draw that in, you know, so that's a little wide. So let's narrow that up a little bit. It's a little too wide, but so we got this trapezoid, negative shape, then we have a rectangular shape in the middle, and then you almost have like another kind of squash trapezoidal shape for where his eyes, where he looks through. So if we draw those in like so, and then the top portion of this trapezoid has a little bit of, because this is a round shape, there's like a little bit of bow in the bottom, like a little belly, I call it. Like so, this is not straight across, this kind of has a little belly in it, like so. And then we have like some rectangles type shapes up here for the top. You know, I'm trying to keep this really simple. And then we have a duplicate ring that goes all the way to the outside of his helmet that is parallel to this top shape. So we'll draw that in lightly like so. And then there's a trapezoidal piece at the bottom here that adds this detail. So let's erase that out. Keep everything very, very, very simple. Like so. There's a little trapezoid piece there. And then an offset rectangle kind of down the middle. Like so. And then I'll erase this little guideline out so you can kind of see the shape forming of his helmet. And that wasn't, I mean, it looked complicated looking at it, but then once you start breaking it down, it becomes very simple. And then these pieces that are cut out, I just look at them as big, big pieces of pie, a big pie shape, a quarter of a circle. So we'll start at this corner and, draw a curved shape like so. And then the same thing on the other side, starting that corner, and it curves up to these pieces on the side of his helmet like so. And then we have another little piece of pie shape on the inside that starts in this corner, but then doesn't go all the way up and then cuts down back to the bottom of the helmet like so. But the inside corner is softer than this hard edge corner here. We'll do the same thing over here. We'll draw that up and it comes back down and it's soft in that corner. And then it's cut out. So this corner connects to this corner like so. And then I'm not going to get too carried away with the details on the side, but I just, just kind of draw in just rectangular pieces here. Keep it simple on the details for now, like so. And that's pretty much the helmet there. It looks very complex, but it's not when you start breaking it down to these simple shapes. So then I'll come back and start doing a little bit more on this breastplate piece, and then we'll be able to add a little value to this and wrap it up. Okay, so moving on to the chest plate here, I did notice something that his shoulder armor is a little bit too low on my sketch, so I'm going to clean that up real quick. So that's the beauty of drawing light and working things out slowly over time, that you can keep evaluating your work along the way. And if you're not too heavy with your sketching, then it makes it easy just to kind of make these revisions on the fly without causing too much destruction to your paper. Because growing up, I did that a lot. I was pretty confident in my lines when I put them down, good or bad. But the downside of being confident in your line work at such an early stage in your drawing is that once you realize something's not quite right, then you sometimes you have to start all over if you can't resolve it with a good eraser. So let's move on to the chest plate here. And so we see this little piece here is kind of an offset of this piece. So it's basically the same shape, this V shape, just moved down in space and going up like so. And the leather of his uniform kind of catches it there. And then there's another trapezoidal piece here. So we'll capture that like so. And then there's another metallic piece that sits behind that. It comes down, that's going to get cut off by my paper, but that's okay. And like so. And then the last little order of business here is this strap. And so there's four little cartridges for his weapon. So I'm just going to use rectangles to kind of call those out in the appropriate place, like so. Like 3 of them seem to be close together, and then 1 loop is missing around, and then made those a little too close. So I'll start at the one at the top. That way I know that I'm getting it in the right position according to my reference. Just drawing a square there. And then they're skipping a notch, and then there's three more. So now I'm seeing that this needs to come down a little bit more. Just a little bit more here, like so, for this piece. And capture this offset under here. There's a lot of little details under here, but I'm going to keep it simple and just concentrate on the big shape here. And the way I sketch it to finish it off, it'll still look nice. I don't want to get too bogged down with details. Just want to capture the overall essence of the Mandalorian and what's going on in my reference, like so. Strap comes up, so, and then there's a little square piece here on the belt that we'll sketch in lightly with a circular opening or cut in it. And then there's some strap detail here. And then there is the shape on the chest plate itself that comes down. It's got a triangular shape at the top, and then a rectangular shape that comes down, and then finishes off with another triangular shape there, like so. I'll erase the middle out, and then I'll add the details in when I start adding the value. And then we see his arm here, so I'll just indicate where his arm is, and then when I start detailing, I'll add a little bit of the fold indication in there, and then the folds of his clothing underneath all this, like so. Just want to indicate that. And then the rest of this will be in shadow. So that's kind of it. I may do a little time lapse on this just to start out, but then I'll just show you how it turns out at the end. And like I said, I'm trying to use this as an inspiration to a young man that's, at the beginning of his art journey. Maybe he doesn't stay in the art journey, but one thing about drawing and practicing drawing, it teaches you discipline, and those disciplines you can apply to other areas in your life. So thanks for being here. If you like this video and you'd like to see more videos like this from me, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. It'll help my channel grow. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment in the comment section. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye for now.